If you're over 60 and sometimes feel like life has thrown everything at you all at once, then this one's going to be for you. Right, so this has been a week from hell for me. I don't even know how I've managed to stay sane, if I'm honest with you. I work for myself and I work from home. So anything that happens with my business has a major impact on me and my mental health, as you can probably imagine. So I had one client who decided on Friday morning that it was the time to tell me that he no longer wanted my services, which is fine, it's not a problem. What bugged me about it was that he's going back to the accountant that he came from to me and told me that the accountant never returned his phone calls, the accountant never did what she said she was going to do, etc, etc, etc. Well, let's just say he overthinks everything. So that's fine. He's not a big client. The income that he provides to me is not going to be a big loss to me. But that was number one. That was the first thing that happened on Friday. Number two was the client that had promised me a big payment big payment to clear the majority of the debt that he's got with me didn't pay. And I have had this ongoing issue with him, with presenting him with a payment plan, him agreeing to it. Lo and behold, the money doesn't arrive, or he pays the smallest invoice on his account. And it's got to the stage now where he owes me £1,800, which is a lot of money to my small business, and it affects my cash flow. So I've had to make the decision to take him to small claims court. I've done this many times for other businesses that I have worked as an employee for, but I've never had to do it with a client of my own. And I know the pros and cons of doing this. Going to small claims court, and even if I win, does not necessarily mean that I will get the money in my pocket. It's very time consuming to fill out the online form, to wait for the judge to or somebody to look at the paperwork and decide if I should have a county court's judgment against the business. And it is going to cost me £115 to do this. So lucky me, I've got to fork out more money to be able to get my money back, and it's not guaranteed. And it's very stressful because, as I say, it is quite a large amount of money to me and my business. On the flip side of that, I have another client that owes me £1,400, but he has been very open about his problems, and he has stuck to the payment plan that I gave him, and he is gradually paying off his debt to me. So it's not been such a big deal, but to have the fact that I've got £3,000 of my money owed to me, and I'm not likely to see that anytime soon, is causing me an issue with my tax bill, which is due at the end of this month, which is July. So as you can well imagine, it's very, very stressful. I live on my own. I don't have a partner, so I have no support with no one to talk things over with, and no support, and no one to help me with the bills and stuff. And that's my own choice, and I'm not beating myself up over that, but it is a fact. So it's just me on my own having to sort all these problems out. That can be quite wearing. I'm an introvert. I've all my life I've been used to dealing with things and sorting things out for myself. So it's nothing new. I'm not used to it. Not used to it. But it is causing me some stress, and it is causing me some sleepless nights, which means that I am tired, which makes everything seem much, much worse than it actually is. As we're all aware, it's a vicious circle. That's what it is. My mum is now out of hospital. She had a fall a month ago, didn't break anything luckily, she's a very tough old bird. But the hospital have decided that they don't want her to go straight home. They put her into a respite care home, so it's a temporary reprieve to see if she gets any better from the conditions that she was in when she was in the hospital. This is causing some stress because I've had to be talking to the administrator at the care home, telling about mum's, you know, likes and dislikes of things. It's basically, you've just got to start, you know, you've got to help and give as much information about mum as possible. I don't mind taking these phone calls. I'm the designated one for the phone calls for mum, and my other two sisters do other things to do with looking after mum and mum's care. But I have spoken to the physiotherapist, I've had to speak to the nurse, one of the nurses that looks after her, and also doctors from the hospital. So it's been quite stressful to deal with this, because you've got to remember to ask the questions that you need the answers to, and if you forget, you're unlikely to be able to call the doctor back or to call the nurse back, because they'll be off doing whatever they do, you know. So it's quite stressful, and I've had to remember to write these, you know, the questions down, and all the things that I get told, I've had to write that down, because I've had to then relay that to my two sisters. We have a WhatsApp group about mum's care, so we're relating everything backs and forwards, so we all know where she is, what's happened to her, and her care needs at the moment. So she's supposed to be in this respite care home for 28 days. She's been there now for a week and 2 days, so that's 25% of the time allotted to her has gone. We are no nearer at the moment to finding out what's going to happen after this time period. We, as a family, would like her to go into care. We don't feel that she is capable of living on her own any longer, because she lives completely on her own. The care support package that she had previously, which was 2 carers going in twice a day for 30 minutes each, that was it, and the rest of the time she would be on her own. Meals on Wheels would deliver at lunchtime, and that would be the only contact she would be having with people, unless a family member was there to visit. And because I live, my sister lives quite, you know, an hour and a bit away from mum, it's not something that we can do on a regular basis. So there's a lot of stress involved in this, because we're trying to get our point across about mum and her Alzheimer's progression, which I really feel she's deteriorated in just for this year, really, since January. So in 7 months we feel that she's really gone downhill. Her mobility is not great, and the physio has told me that she is considered a risk fall at the moment. So that sounds awful, but it will work in her favour if she's to go to a care home. Her mental state is not great. We don't think she's recognising us, her daughters, because over the past year I think she's deteriorated, where she's losing the memories. So she lost memories of her great-grandchildren, she's lost memories of her grandchildren, and now she appears to be losing memories of her daughters, her own children. She doesn't remember my dad, she doesn't remember her family apart from her mum and dad. She keeps saying to people that her mum and dad are going to come and pick her up and take her back to her home, which is her family home, which is in Wimbledon in London. Obviously not going to happen, because mum and my grandparents died quite some time ago. But this is what we're left with. This is what dementia does. And yeah, as you can imagine, it's extremely worrying for the family, because we can see her deterioration, both mentally and physically, but the social worker and the care teams need to be on the same page as us for her to be allocated to a care home. So it's extremely frustrating and therefore extremely stressful. Yeah, it just is causing me so much internal strife at the moment. The next thing that happened to me on Saturday was that my backup laptop, I know it sounds odd, but I have my main laptop, all singing dancing one for work, but I also have a backup laptop, because as you can imagine, if anything was to happen to my work laptop, I'm stuck. Everything is done on a computer or in the cloud, so I need a backup, and that one started playing up. I had memory problems, and is where I do a lot of my CapCut editing and stuff on that laptop rather than my work one. I like to keep the two separate. But it started playing up, so I had to order another one. I decided to bite the bullet and do it. because it was causing me. I think I needed that backup. I needed the knowledge that I had the backup so that it wouldn't cause me any more stress. So then again, that was another couple of £100 that I've had to pay out for a new laptop, and that could have gone towards my tax bill. So it's been, you know, quite stressful to decide whether to spend that money on the laptop or whether to pay off part of the tax bill. And so all this stress that I've had, I've got no support at home. I have no partner, and that has weighed on me quite a bit, because if you've seen my previous video that I made about me being the dumper and breaking up with my partner of 10 years, you'll know that I've been feeling quite sad about the breakup, and so it's been very difficult not to think about the support that I could have had from him, because he was extremely good about that sort of thing. They're very, very, very supportive on anything, not just family, but on everything. And so it's been tough trying to deal with missing him, stopping myself from picking the phone up to contact him, and yeah, it's just, that's been another stress that's not helped at all. But I'm getting there. And finally, the whole week has caused me to fall off the sugar-free wagon that I was on. I was doing so well not eating sugar, chocolate, biscuits, you know, all the stuff that's bad for you, and trying to lose weight and stuff. So, and I've just fallen right off it. I've got masses of chocolate, because that's what I do. I comfort eat if I'm stressed. So that's not really done me much good, I'm pretty sure. But what I've decided, or what I found helped, was that I immediately took myself out of my flat environment, because I'm an introvert and I stay home quite a lot of the time. But I know that I needed to just get out into the fresh air and change the environment and go for a walk. So I went for a quick walk, and that did me the world of good. It just shifts you out of the mindset that you get into in your own four walls, and it allows your mind to free itself a little bit, because you're looking at another environment, another set of scenery, if you like. So that always works for me, so I did that. I also, instead of thinking of the negative things all the time, I find for me it helps if I then start adding up all of the good things that are in my world. And I have a lot of good things. You know, I have my health, I have my children's health, there's my grandkids' health. We are very lucky as a family to have what we have, and we're very happy together. We don't have a lot of family rifts, and for that I'm truly grateful. You know, and I have a job that I love doing. I have a business, I earn my own money, I am completely independent, and that does come with all the stress that I've previously mentioned. But thinking about all the things that I've got, the way that I achieved it, and just ticking off on your fingers all the good things that I've got in my life, it kind of does even out all the stress that I've had this week, because I also know, being 61, is that this too shall pass, and it's not going to be around constantly. It's just a time period where things have just appeared to have hit me all at once or within a week, and that's taken 60 plus years to get to that stage, but I'm here now, so I know that I will get through this, and I probably will be fine tomorrow. I just need to go to bed tonight, have a good sleep, and everything will appear to be back to normal. And once I get things in motion with the court case, once we've found out about what's happening with Mum, then, you know, things will disappear off of the stress list, if you like. Phoned me. My sister called me earlier on today, and I sat and I told her exactly what I've just told you, and she's listened, and didn't offer me an empty conciliation conversation at all. She listened to what I had to say. She made several offers of coming to see me, or meeting up and having a coffee and stuff, but I didn't actually need to see her in person. Just talking to her on the phone, and I guess just verbalizing the way that I was feeling, it helps a lot, because it takes it's almost like taking the lid off a steaming, boiling saucepan, isn't it? It just releases it, and then when you put the lid back on, it's not quite so pressured. And that's how I feel today. So I know that, you know, having my sister and being able to talk to her, and she knows me so well, that, you know, that's helped me enormously today. So I'm feeling a little bit brighter, but I thought I would just come on and record how I'm feeling, because tomorrow it won't seem as intense as it does today, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just thought I would tell you what's happened to me and the way that I've dealt with it, so that you can have some idea of how things have worked for me. So I just thought it would be helpful for other people to know what's happened to me in a week and what I found helped. I'm not saying that everything that I've done will work for anybody else, but just knowing that it has for somebody else could actually be of some benefit to another person that is feeling that kind of life's just chucked everything at me kind of mode, because it's scary sometimes when you're on your own, when things like that happen. I'm a strong person. I know I'm a strong person, so I can deal with things. And I also know that I just need to allow myself a short period of time to wallow in it and to feel sorry for myself and all that kind of stuff. But then I need to pull myself out, go for a walk, talk to somebody about it, and put a plan in motion, face my fears if you like, and get it sorted. So if you're having one of those weeks, I know exactly how you're feeling. You know, sometimes when you're in your 50s and 60s and you live alone, life can sometimes feel like it's against you, but it's not. You just know it's a moment in time, and it's going to pass. You know, you'll have a sleep and the next day will be different, you know. As Scarlett said, tomorrow's another day, and that's how I think we have to look at it. So thank you for watching. I hope it's helped somebody. My name's Julie. If you've liked it, please give it the thumbs up. And if you like other videos like this, then please subscribe. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.